And that funeral,
man, you know the craziest thing about that funeral, right? The funeral was big.
yeah.
But nobody talk about when we went and viewed the body.
What's up, friends? Thanks for stopping by my channel. Now let's get straight to it. Pimp C had already been through the system before his death. He spent a few years locked up on aggravated assault and probation violations, finally walking free at the end of 2005. But even behind bars, he wasn't struggling like the average inmate. Everybody already loved Pimp. He had money on his books, so while others had to fight to survive, he just kicked back, ate good, and lived stress-free. Bun B even joked that Pimp went into prison wearing an extra large and came out rocking a 4 extra large. Once he was released, Pimp didn't change his ways. He wasn't working out, and he dove right back into sipping lean heavy.
Yeah.
Only 100 people was involved. Man, Pimp C head was this big.
Stop it, man.
Are you serious? Man, it was this big, dog. I mean, you know.
He was darker too.
Hey,
And he was darker. He was darker
his
too.
lips was look like plastic. His whole face. So Too Short looking at me, we looking at each other like, you know, and everybody just looking at each other like crazy. We couldn't even believe the shit we
Bro,
was
the
seeing.
casket was so heavy.
Dog, that nigga.
How they made us carry?
That weight gain made his sleep apnea worse, and mixing that condition with all the drugs was a recipe for disaster. Bun B might be one of the few people who actually accepts the official cause of death, but others, they're convinced the story is a lie. Some of Pimp's closest family and friends believe he was murdered and that a major cover-up kept the truth hidden. Even his own mother, Mama West, swore her son didn't just die naturally. She knew something was wrong the very night before he was found because Pimp always called her before going to sleep.
That casket was, once we pulled up to the cemetery area, we had to carry. You remember we had to carry it to that, bro, it was a long walk. They didn't have nothing we could push it on. We had to carry that thing, and we was talking about Chad laughing at us. He laughed because we were struggling carrying it.
But that night, the phone stayed silent. Mama West said in her gut she already knew something was off. Journalist Julia Beverly, who wrote a full biography on Pimp C, revealed in an interview that Mama West never wavered. She always believed her son was murdered. Julia explained how after Pimp's death, the media rushed to report he overdosed on codeine, but Mama West didn't buy it for a second. She believed he was poisoned, and that someone shady in his own circle was inside the room the night he died. Even more shocking, Mama West said she had an idea of who that person was. Julia dug into the rumors but admitted she never found concrete proof of a cover-up. Still, she laid out Mama West's suspicions in her book. And Mama West herself spoke publicly on a radio show, claiming the coroner personally told her they couldn't pin down the exact cause of death.
He never did lean around me. Listen, Chad only did, red wine, a cup of red wine like twice.
But they knew it wasn't drugs. She said Pimp didn't have enough lean in his system to kill him, and the sleep apnea explanation was nothing more than a theory, and she wasn't alone in that belief. Oakland legend Too Short also refused to accept the official story. He had just been with Pimp right before he died. They were supposed to have dinner together the very night Pimp's body was discovered. When Too Short rushed to the hospital looking for answers, nobody gave him any. For years afterward, he tried to dig deeper, but every door stayed closed, leaving him just as suspicious as Mama West. Too Short still admits the whole situation haunts him. He says it never sat right that so many celebrities end up dying in hotel rooms, always alone, always with no witnesses. To him, that's way too suspicious. And the kicker?
And my buddy Pimp C killed.
Every time an artist passes, their music catalog and legacy instantly skyrocket in value. So Too Short believes it's only smart to question these sudden deaths when no one's around to see what really happened. Another voice adding fuel to the suspicion is Pimp's affiliate Leo, who openly declared he believes Pimp was murdered. In an interview, Leo explained he has sleep apnea himself, and while he's had nights where he woke up choking, he never once came close to dying from it. To him, the official story just doesn't hold up. Leo went even further, saying it's no coincidence that outspoken artists always end up painted as drug addicts. He pointed out that Pimp was making noise before his death, calling out labels for turning artists against each other. And even more controversial, Pimp C allegedly exposed some big names in the industry for being secretly gay. Leo and others believe Pimp might have been silenced for pulling the curtain back on powerful figures, and the theories don't stop there. Actor Orlando Brown, known from That's So Raven, also claimed the lean overdose story was pure setup. After his Disney Channel fame, Orlando started making music, and through his mother's connections with UGK, he got linked up with Pimp C. Pimp even agreed to mentor him and help guide his career. According to Orlando, he spent about 5 or 6 years around Pimp before his death. And here's the shocking part. He swore he never once saw Pimp sip lean. Not once. The wildest thing he claims to have seen Pimp do was drink a glass of red wine, and that only happened a handful of times. For Orlando, the narrative that Pimp died from lean was nothing but a lie crafted to destroy his reputation. Orlando Brown swore up and down that the lean story was fake. He claimed somebody planned to make it look like Pimp died from lean just to smear his name. Out of respect for the family, Orlando said he wouldn't spill every detail, but he doubled down that he knew for a fact Pimp C didn't die the way the media told it. And Orlando wasn't the only one with a wild take. Another rapper Pimp had mentored, who went by the name 17, had his own theory, and his words were heavy. When pressed in an interview, 17 said straight up, "That wasn't no overdose. That was an assassination." He insisted Pimp's death had nothing to do with lean, claiming somebody had slipped something deadly into his drink. He didn't give all the details, but he made it clear, in his eyes, Pimp's death was a hit, not an accident. Plenty of folks close to Pimp shared the same suspicions, but most stayed quiet out of respect for the family. Until one person broke the silence. Pimp's own cousin Edgar came forward in an interview and dropped one of the boldest claims yet. Edgar said he heard the truth straight from a reliable source, and even pointed to the person he believed was behind it all in a photo. According to Edgar's story, Pimp wasn't alone that night. He said there were 3 people in that hotel room, 2 men and a woman. At one point, Pimp went to the bathroom. That's when one of the men allegedly told the others he was going to play a prank on Pimp. But this prank was deadly. Edgar said the man slipped something into Pimp's drink. When Pimp came back and took a sip, things went bad fast. Edgar claimed Pimp immediately started throwing up blood, and Edgar believed it because when he saw Pimp's hotel room himself, there was blood all over the bed. To Edgar, the reason the autopsy didn't reveal what really happened was simple. The coroner only tested for drugs, not poison. They already assumed it was lean mixed with sleep apnea, so they didn't bother checking deeper. And what's crazy is Edgar's story lines up perfectly with what Mama West always said, that someone else was in that room when Pimp C died. Edgar dropped another bombshell. He claimed the man who poisoned Pimp C actually bragged about it afterward. According to him, this dude was running around telling people he was the one who took Pimp out. To make it even wilder, Edgar said there's a photo of Pimp C with his mom where the alleged killer is lurking in the background. Clear as day. But justice? That's out of reach, because the man Edgar accused is already dead. Edgar said the guy died under mysterious circumstances in almost the same way as Pimp. And not only that, his brother ended up killed too, crushed by a tractor in what people called a freak accident. Both of them were caught up with dangerous people, and it looks like their time ran out. But that wasn't the only shocking thing Edgar revealed. He even suggested Pimp's own wife, Shara, might have played a role in the setup. He explained how she was acting suspiciously right before Pimp's death. Normally, whenever Pimp traveled to LA, Edgar went with him. They always booked connecting rooms in case something went wrong. But this trip was different. Edgar said Shara told him he couldn't come because he had to work. Edgar knew that was a lie. He didn't have to work and told her straight up he was planning to go. That's when he realized something was strange. On top of that, Edgar claimed Pimp and Shara got into a heated fight on their way to LA over a Bentley. Pimp wanted to hire a car service to get to the airport, but Shara insisted they drive the Bentley and just leave it parked. Pimp didn't like the idea at all. Leaving such an expensive ride in public parking didn't sit right with him. but Shara pushed the issue until it turned into an argument, and in the end, they drove the Bentley anyway. Not only did they leave the car in the airport lot, but they left it in a tow zone. So Pimp had to call Edgar and ask him to move it. But instead of letting Edgar handle it, Shara actually flew all the way back to Texas just to move the car herself, leaving Pimp completely alone in Los Angeles. Edgar couldn't help but question her motives. If either he or Shara had been there, maybe Pimp wouldn't have been left vulnerable. Instead, he was isolated, and that's when the alleged poison plot unfolded. Edgar began to wonder, did Shara purposely keep him away? Did she know Edgar's presence could have stopped the whole thing? It didn't make sense. Why lie about Edgar having to work? Why force the Bentley situation when they could have just hired a driver? And why hop a plane back to Texas to move the car when Edgar was right there, willing to do it? To Edgar, the whole thing felt off, way too off. He said the story just didn't add up. It was looking real sketchy. After Pimp's death, things got even messier inside his own family. His wife, Shara, fell out with nearly everybody, and it all came down to money and control. When Pimp passed, Shara was placed in charge of his estate, meaning all the finances, royalties, and business decisions went through her. But almost a decade later, Pimp's son, Chad Jr., had enough. He filed a lawsuit to have her removed, claiming she was straight up mishandling everything. The lawsuit painted a crazy picture: bills piling up unpaid, expensive jewelry missing, and Pimp's old mansion in Port Arthur sliding into foreclosure. Even the iconic Bentley got repossessed after Shara couldn't keep up with the $2,800 monthly payments. She tried to argue that she had poured her own money into keeping Pimp's legacy alive, but the evidence told a different story. Lawyers revealed she spent $150,000 between 2011 and 2013 and then blew another $80,000 in the following 2 years. That cash was supposed to go to Pimp's kids and family, but none of them saw a dime. Public records also showed the estate was drowning in $7.2 million in back taxes and another $5.1 million owed to former UGK manager Barbara Hill. On top of that, the judge flagged $150,000 worth of jewelry and assets that Shara simply couldn't explain. Pimp's son grew furious when Shara started dropping posthumous Pimp C albums and hitting red carpet events like she was running the show. She claimed she never saw any profit from the music, saying it all went into keeping the Pimp C brand alive. But the judge didn't buy her story one bit, and officially removed her from managing the estate because of how recklessly she handled the money. This only fueled darker whispers. Some people started to believe Shara might have been part of the bigger conspiracy to have Pimp taken out. Others took it even further, speculating she didn't act alone and maybe Bun B himself had a hand in it. See, despite the image of UGK being brothers, insiders claimed Pimp and Bun weren't as close as people thought. They came up together in Port Arthur, built a movement, but over time, distance and tension grew. Especially after Pimp's prison stint, their bond wasn't the same. According to Pimp's homie Pimp Ken, by the end, the two were on opposite pages. Bun played it safe, moving like a politician, careful about what he said and who he rubbed the wrong way. But Pimp, he was raw, unfiltered, and didn't care who he offended. That difference had people whispering that maybe Bun B had his own reasons for letting Pimp get silenced. As time went on, the tension between Bun B and Pimp C started cutting into business. Bun was looking for a way out of UGK, and that's when rumors of a secret beef started bubbling. Rapper 17, who actually lived with Pimp C for 11 months leading up to his death, claimed the two weren't even on speaking terms near the end. 17 was also one of the people who went to the coroner to identify Pimp's body, and even after seeing everything firsthand, he still swears Bun B played a role in his death. He's even made YouTube videos calling Bun out directly, accusing him of sacrificing his own partner to push his career forward. Wild as it sounds, people point out that Bun B did gain a lot after Pimp passed. His solo career took off, his industry standing went up, and he became a respected figure on his own. The theory goes like this. Bun knew he could never reach that next level while Pimp was alive, especially since Pimp had no problem going against the grain and calling out the industry. So instead of being held back, Bun supposedly let the industry handle it. Or worse, helped it happen. But the whispers don't stop at Boom B or even Shara. Some conspiracy theorists take it way further, saying powerful names like Jay-Z and Jay Prince might have had something to do with it. UGK and Jay-Z had already teamed up for Big Pimpin', one of the biggest tracks to ever merge East Coast and Southern hip-hop. Today it's a certified classic, but at the time, the collaboration almost didn't happen. Bun B pushed for the collab, but Pimp C wanted no part of it. See, Pimp was a hardcore Tupac loyalist, and with Pac and Jay-Z having ties to Biggie, plus their history of trading shots, Pimp didn't want to be linked with anyone who had beef with Pac. He flat out refused to record with Jay-Z at first. It was Bun B and the label who eventually pressured him into it. But even after agreeing, Pimp C tried to pull the plug again, while they were in the middle of making the song. The tension behind Big Pimpin' ended up being more than just a creative disagreement. Some say it planted the seeds for industry enemies who wanted Pimp C silenced for good. The tension between Pimp C and Jay-Z got even crazier once they actually worked together. According to Kibo, a former A&R at Rockefeller, Pimp almost refused to even touch Big Pimpin' because of one of Jay's lyrics. On the track, Jay spits, "In the cut, where I keep 'em till I need a nut, till I need to beat the guts, then it's beep beep, then I'm picking 'em up, let 'em play with the Dior's in the truck." When Pimp heard that last bar, he flipped. He thought Jay was literally rapping about pleasuring himself in a truck. Pimp straight up told Kibo he couldn't be on a track with a dude talking about that, calling it career suicide. In the end, the song dropped anyway, but the bad blood between Pimp and Jay never cooled off. And supposedly, the beef went way deeper than just a misunderstanding over lyrics. Rumors started swirling that Pimp C had a secret sex tape with none other than Beyonce, and he was threatening to release it. Pimp's close friend Pimp Ken even confirmed in an interview that Pimp had a tape with a major R&B superstar who was dating a man known for being loaded at the time. Ken wouldn't drop the name, but he swore the tape was real, claiming it was hotter than the infamous Kim Kardashian and Ray J video, and worth millions. The timeline made the gossip even messier. Around the time Big Pimpin' dropped, Jay-Z had just started dating Beyonce. Some people believe that's the real reason Pimp didn't want to be on the track with Jay. He was worried Jay might find out about the tape. The rumors go even further, saying Houston mogul Jay Prince stepped in to clean the whole situation up. Pimp was signed to Rap-A-Lot Records, and Jay Prince was not only respected in the industry, but feared in the streets. According to the whispers, Jay-Z and Beyonce's camp reached out to him to retrieve the tape before it leaked. Pimp eventually agreed to hand it over, but there was fear he might have kept another copy hidden away. The problem? Pimp had already shown the tape to Pimp Ken, proving other people knew it existed. That alone supposedly had Jay and Beyonce furious, and that's when the conspiracy theories spiral. Some say Jay Prince met with them to figure out the solution. According to those rumors, that's when the plan was made to silence Pimp C for good. And to make it even wilder, some people claim Jay Prince himself might have kept a copy of the tape tucked away. One of the wildest rumors says Jay Prince might have even used the situation as leverage, supposedly cutting deals with Jay-Z and Beyonce in exchange for handling Pimp C. There's no hard proof, but plenty of people believe Jay Prince had a hand in Pimp's death. A man who claimed he grew up with Pimp even went viral with a video accusing Jay Prince directly, saying flat out that he was the one who set it all up. According to that man, Pimp wasn't happy when he got out of jail and came back to rap a lot. He hated the deal he was locked into and didn't like the way Jay Prince was moving. Word is, Pimp even planned to sneak diss him on his album, exposing shady moves and calling him out by name. Then, not long after, Pimp ended up dead. That same man also linked Jay Prince to Takeoff's death from Migos, claiming the pattern looked the same. Artists who cross Jay Prince don't live long, and the stories don't stop there. Another rumor says Jay Prince once actually saved Pimp's life years before. Back in 1996, UGK worked with Master P on Break 'Em Off Something. Pimp allegedly never got paid and started firing shots at Master P in public. Supposedly, Master P and his goons stormed into Pimp's hotel room and pistol whipped him. The rumor goes that Master P even called Jay Prince asking permission to finish him off. Jay Prince said no, sparing Pimp's life and even banning No Limit from parts of Texas for a while. So if Jay Prince really saved him back then, you can imagine the fury when Pimp later turned around and disrespected him. That's why some folks say if anybody wanted him gone, Jay Prince had motive. But other theories go even further, straight to the Illuminati. Pimp C was loud about exposing the industry, calling out executives and artists in ways nobody else dared. Right before his death, he went off in an explosive rant for Ozone magazine. He accused big names like Neo and Russell Simmons of being secretly gay, mocked rappers for trading gangster style for V-neck sweaters and fruity socks, and even singled out Pharrell for starting the trend. He clowned the entire city of Atlanta too, saying it wasn't even part of the South. But Pimp wasn't just cracking jokes, he was dropping warnings. He accused labels of keeping artists dumb on purpose, claiming executives feared rappers uniting and building real power. He even started working with Jay Prince on plans to bring major Southern artists together for a sit-down, aiming to form a movement that could shake the industry. So when he suddenly turned up dead right after unleashing that rant, people connected the dots. To them, it looked less like a coincidence and more like a silencing. The sad truth, the world may never know what really happened to Pimp C. The official story has holes, and the conspiracy theories won't die down. His family still wants answers. His friends still whisper that something shady went down, and the streets believe the truth is buried deep. Whether it was poison, industry power plays, or something even darker, one thing's for sure. If Pimp C really was taken out, whoever did it covered their tracks so well that it may never be solved. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the time together. See you in the next video.